Welcome back to Sense and Sensibility. Today, my friends in finance, I want to talk about one of the world's hottest apps. In the US, TikTok is at the center of a political and business storm, and now it might have to sell. So who actually wants it? Let's start with one of the most surprising names, Frank McCourt, a billionaire real estate developer. He teamed up with Kevin O'Leary, otherwise known as Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, along with web pioneer Tim Berners-Lee, to launch something called the People's Bid. They want to buy TikTok's U.S. business for around $20 billion and rebuild it with more user privacy and public trust. Then there's Amazon, which recently jumped into the mix with a last-minute bid for TikTok's assets outside China. And not far behind is AppLovin, a mobile app giant, which proposed merging TikTok with its own business, except for the Chinese operations. Perplexity AI, funded in part by Jeff Bezos, also entered the race, with a plan to buy TikTok's U.S. operations and eventually give the government a stake when it goes public. Here's another twist. Entrepreneur Jesse Tinsley submitted an all-cash bid for TikTok's U.S. business, and Mr. Beast, otherwise known as Jimmy Donaldson, is attached as the star power, the face of the brand. While Tinsley is running the bid, Mr. Beast's involvement adds influence, reach, and credibility with younger audiences, even though he isn't personally funding the full deal. And then we have the familiar giants. Oracle, led by Larry Ellison, has been tied to TikTok for years. They already handle some of TikTok's US data and could be part of a larger investor consortium. Microsoft was the original suitor back in 2020, when the US first pushed for a sale, and their name's still floating around. Walmart was once linked too during those early talks. And to the surprise of many, Elon Musk hasn't publicly thrown his hat in the ring. At least not yet. Meanwhile, former Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick has reportedly shown interest, and even former U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said he was putting together a group to buy TikTok. At this point, you might expect to hear that Meta would be trying to buy TikTok and capture one of the few major social media platforms that they don't already own. But surprisingly, Meta hasn't publicly offered to buy TikTok, likely due to antitrust concerns. So when you add it up, you've got tech giants, Wall Street billionaires, private equity firms, YouTubers, and even government insiders all circling one app. Why? Because TikTok is more than just short videos. With over 1 billion users worldwide, it is one of the most powerful platforms for culture, commerce, and influence. Whoever ends up owning it could control the future of social media. And that's a prize almost too big to ignore.
Remember, this isn't investment advice, just stuff you should know. Please like, share, and subscribe so that you and I can continue our investing journey together.